go.
Yes. What's up, dude?
Dude, I'm fired up.
Same. I am stoked. Look, dude, we got the whole new. This is your first.
Dude,
your first go with the new lineup.
Crazy.
The new. We're enterprise level.
It is.
It's like when on Star Trek when they leveled up the Enterprise.
Yeah.
It's like now, yeah, buddy, we're
great.
Galaxy class. I do
Yeah,
believe
there you
if
go.
I
I
put
like
on my
it.
Star Trek nerd
I
hat,
like it. I
that
like
is the
it.
thing. And so now everything is 4K native. So what
Yeah.
I was saying is we will not today, but we will be more intentional on the show because the pipeline for actual content from
Yes.
each. Previously, it was a time, a bandwidth, literal and figurative bandwidth problem, and it involved more humans.
Yes.
Well, now Zach is over there right now at the bridge of the Starship
Right, yeah,
Enterprise,
absolutely.
recording all of this in 4K and the live switching. And so, like, just not to get too far in the weeds, but what used to take 3 to 4 days,
Yep.
3 different cameras, 3 different gigantic files that had to be sent overseas and all of that
Yes.
stuff. Now that no longer happens.
That's amazing.
And the oven fresh file out of the.
And what's Opus doing right now?
So Opus just upgraded their output on the, I think, Pro and Enterprise
Yeah.
level to 4K.
That's awesome.
Where before it would do like a fake 4K. Where they would get away with the math where it's like, okay, if it's whatever, 2160 or whatever, high or what, high, then it's 4K. Not really. Especially if you're putting a 1080 source in there as we get like super nerd
Dude,
video.
That's so cool.
But
well, yeah.
you will see that, like, as soon as I send you later tonight, I'll send you the link to the clips. You are gonna shit and fall back in it because it is a total game changer.
Dude, that's awesome. Well, and what you're able to do with AI now is so incredible. We just did a thing. Everybody needs to understand, especially Claude, at a whole new level. Like the artifacts and things that Claude can build are absolutely incredible. I'm doing a shout out because in a couple weeks, I guess maybe it's 3 weeks now, we're doing a AI class at Metro Tech. So Allison and Nick Good and myself have assembled this incredible team. We're gonna walk through like how to do all those things, and they have got so good at like how they're using it real world. So we're gonna have a blast. So it's gonna be really good. So yeah,
Well,
Metro Tech.
I'll
I
plug.
think 19th or 20th is
Okay,
So,
so
it's
then
gonna be
and
awesome.
then the following week,
There you go.
we'll be doing one at Sphere Rocket. So
nice.
Yeah, so I just went yesterday, and
What's happening at Sphere Rocket?
so it's Sphere Rocket. So my extended family with EXP, and so like by way of Daniel Lang, my landlord, and my EXP commercial connection. So part of his team and his We Partners Network. It's on the back of the shirt.
I love it.
We Partners Network, Angvest. They've got a guy coming in from California it's more of a customized build for, okay, you put in the property 123 Main Street.
Right.
Well, this thing, and then you dump the assets in. So
Right.
like say my team goes out and shoots the content or whatever. Okay, so we got tons of raw material. You dump all of that into the funnel, into the front end, and then out of the oven when the buzzer goes off, it is a tailor-made slice of everything. Like, oh, it's over here in Las Colinas. Points of interest are boom, boom, boom. Here's a link out to the highest rated Yelp restaurants, so it essentially gives you everything possible in a listing. So
That's so cool.
And then once you have the listing content, it stacks that on top of it. So it becomes a listing presentation and like a QR code at an open house where it's like, boom,
awesome.
oh, hey, hit this, and so it serves the master of data capture and also the actual seller where it's like, okay, we're going to have everything tied into your listing and your home that is relevant to anybody that might be curious.
Yes.
And that would just, exponentially increase the likelihood of people
Have it all
wanting.
in one place is
Yes.
beautiful. Yep.
And so we're doing the thing. They're doing like a lunch and learn.
Yep.
So this guy's coming out, and ostensibly it's for everybody.
Yeah.
But my thing is, I just want to go and play with the Sphere Rocket toys.
Yeah.
And so I booked the room. So yesterday I did Justin's podcast.
Nice.
Yeah. And so what's great was, they got the room over there, with all the cannons and with not literal cannons like you light them and it explodes, but Canon cameras. Because he was initially going to do it on a Zoom call because I they're global or whatever, and that's kind of the gimmick. I was like, dude, can we do it in the room? And he's like, yeah. And
Why
so
not?
like,
There you go.
well, they've only used the room a couple of times. And so we get in there and it's like, okay, this looks like $1 million. And the best part of doing stuff like that is just like I went to the boot camp 2 weeks ago, partly because when I went to the first one, I had only had the VAs for a week and a half.
You're learning as you go. With
I
all
didn't
that.
know my ass from
absolutely.
third base from any of that.
Yeah.
And then the other thing was, I show up at the boot camp the second time because everybody that's in the room are further along than me
Yes.
on their actual business journey or whatever. So I'm in there sort of as a recon where I'm just intel gathering because, well, I don't know what I don't know. And so like my blind spots could be massive. They could be small. They could be, something I don't really have to worry about until 3 years from now.
Yes.
But the thing is, I don't know. And so it was great to sit in the room, and there were like 6 or 8 folks in there that were objectively further along than me.
That's beautiful.
And so they're like, well, what are you doing here? Because you were just here in March. And it was like, well, going back to Claude, it's like I have the Claude project and everything that I do and the co-work and all that shit for the studio.
Yeah.
Well, the first time I was there, they throw something up. They have the slide where it's like, what name 10 things you did last week that you could outsource to, for the you're doing $10 task, yada, yada, yada. Well, I did that the first time I was there. Like my standard operating thing is like, boom, I take a picture, I put that into the project and I say like, list me what I did last week.
Right.
That's
Yes.
the low rent, time consuming stuff.
Right.
Well, then I go the second time, boom, same thing. Search the project for the previous entry on the Sphere Rocket list of basically low hanging fruit that is time consuming and wasting money or wasting time rather. Right. So it ABs and it says, okay, out of the 20 we listed the first time, you have offloaded all 20. And your tasks, because it sees my calendar, my email, the whole 9 yards. And then I also, here's another.
And you have that all tied into Claude, correct?
Yes, and it's a project inside of Claude.
Yeah.
So everything from.
So Claude in general has access to your email and calendar.
The whole 9 yards.
And then you have projects within that.
Yes. Yeah. And then the next level of that is because now I'm obsessed, like they're blowing me up right now with like the VAs. So I'm obsessed and I have the one gal that runs everything for me on the surface level.
Yep.
And then I have the others that we're still in the midst of like figuring out who does what and what happens every day, whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm also ramping everything up because like what I said earlier about the gear here and everything being now top shelf. It's all broadcast quality.
So good.
Well, then it's like, okay, well now everything that we've been kind of doing FAFO on, it's like, okay, well let's dial that in. And so Ashley and Michelle came back on Wednesday because everybody's been busy or whatever. So I took all of last week and tore everything out and rebuilt the whole thing.
Right.
And that was great for me just to get my nerd on and just like mess with it. But then Ashley and Michelle come back. Okay, so then now, boom, audio goes to Buzzsprout. That goes to Spotify. Da-da-da-da-da-da. The 4K reels and stories are already cut up. The girls are editing them, putting them in, branding it, the whole 9 yards. I'm like, okay, now here's the Spotify, here's the Apple listing, here's all this.
As I think of things, keep going.
Now, whenever you post the reels and stories, cross-pollinate everything, link out to the audio version of the show because it's a force multiplier of, and what the funny thing is what I didn't know is back whenever at the beginning so about this time last year, whenever I was doing the all of that shit manually myself, partly just to figure out how is it done,
right?
Because then I can transmit it. But I look back and it was like, oh shit, they had like a couple hundred downloads on an episode. I'm like, okay, well now we'll really ratchet that up. And then the other thing was with Claude and the projects and the ability to, so like if I'm doing the VAs, they'll send the disc profile, the resume, the CV, the whole 9 yards. Well, I put mine in there, and then I'm saying like, who's the better match?
Yeah.
What questions to ask, and
That's
how will
great.
they integrate with the rest of the team that I already have?
Yes, that's so good.
So boom, it gives me. It's like here's the hierarchy. So if there's 8 people for me to interview, it's like okay. In reality, it's these 3, and then the others are an audible, if you want to call it at the line of scrimmage, maybe, but probably not. And so there, I automatically go through and. It shortcutted that whole thing. And so now the next thing up is I have 75 terabytes of content in Dropbox, which is patently ridiculous. But the thing is, I'm a pack rat and you throw it in the cloud and everybody has their Dropbox access. Well, everything goes in there and we just never clean it. It's just like, okay, it's another $70 or what, who cares? But now I'm going to hire like 2 people to just go through and pan for gold. Yeah. Because the other thing is, okay, well, what is already in there that's actually useful? Yeah. That could then be. Because, like, dude, I could go through and just the RP stuff with Jordan.
Yeah, there's so much.
Give me everything we did in 2020. Now, high-end editors cut me together a compilation of 2020 that is like, boom, skins on the wall.
Yeah.
Like, been here for a minute. You know, that was 6 years ago.
Yeah.
How do you think we're doing now? That kind of a thing. And then the other is I have to train the VAs to be like, a lot of now I say it where I'll be like, I'm just thinking out loud.
Yeah.
Don't worry. No need to freak out on this. And I'll roll a bunch of shit into the group chat. And then I'll circle back around and be like, okay, maybe look at that.
Yeah.
Well, now I will take and I do everything on WhatsApp. So depending on how you communicate to your VAs, WhatsApp will let you export the entire chat thread as a file. Well, I throw that into Claude and I say, like, given the events of the last week, what are the action items that need to be checked in on? What needs to be updated? What needs to be like left alone or whatever? It'll give me the rundown. And then because it has everything that's ongoing, it'll say like, well, Maria should take a look at this, have Kathy look at this, Lovely was doing this, follow up to see where she's at on that. And it becomes this thing where now I'm obsessed with a whole nother level of stuff, because I mean, I'll forget and I get so amped up. Like now, dude, I'm totally amped up and caffeinated and, you know, fired up for a Friday morning, and I can go down the rabbit hole repeatedly, but then I have Claude and the AI there to just be the sync trap. You know, then it also helps me parse what I actually throw in there versus it all just goes in
so
the
good.
Yeah. So like now, so you're taking notes? I love it.
I know. As things pop in my brain, I got to write down so I remember it. So
okay. So okay, what did you write down?
I just things that I need to do.
Oh, okay.
Things,
so
things
you're
I'm getting
like,
after.
you're like,
I'm making notes for me, so I don't have to
get yogurt.
Yes, yeah, yep. No, just some cloud connections, things we need to make. So it's amazing what it can do when you start using it and tying everything together. It's pretty powerful.
Well, and
so let's move those.
Oh yeah. Right.
Let's give some good stuff. Q2. Here we go. What do you got?
Are you ready for Q2? And considering we're like halfway through it. Or 2/3 through it.
We are.
Yeah, so this is more of instead of a predictive, this is more of a how we doing?
Yeah.
This is sort of like a mid-season checkup, if you will.
And here's the thing is, I was thinking about that earlier. It's like when your goals are not there to be punitive, like they're not meant to be there to be up, they're meant to create awareness for you. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
And like that, so it's like compare your actuals to your goals. And here's the thing, most people are right now, they feel like they have time to make it up. They feel like they're probably doing better than they are in a sense because they have time. So I think it's a really good time. And like we say this all the time, like it's good to have scoreboards. Don't stare at the scoreboards the entire time you're playing or you're going to crash, but you do need to check the scoreboards. So right now is a really good time to go like, hey, here's my goal for the year. I'm essentially halfway. Am I actually halfway, right, to hitting my goal? And I think that there's a lot of people that are working really hard, but they're not being effective right now. There's people that are really busy, but they're not getting a lot done. So it's a good time to really investigate your actions and are they giving me the results that I want? I think it's a really good time to do that right now. And just do a really good check-in to do a little correction before you get to the end of the year. Yes.
Well, and one of the things that I've been really getting into is that whole thing of like delegating. Because like, how many people do you have now on your team?
6, 7. Yeah.
Okay. See, like, okay, hashtag goals.
Yeah.
You know, because like right now it's the handful of editors in Vietnam, and then it's the gals in the Philippines, and so combined there's probably like 6 or 7. But the folks in Vietnam are very specific. They're very task oriented on a daily.
Right. Yes.
And then the other thing for me is like here we're being busy and checking like where are we at on this, where are we at on that. Well, there's some of it that is very quantifiable, you know. So it's like I'm in the process of waiting on the redlining of a contract for like dashboard brokerage agreements or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, right now I can't do anything about that.
Right.
And so I can't add that as a goal, and I can't add that to numbers that may or may not, you know what I mean? So there are. And I don't want to put too much weight on it. So like there, I just act like it's not even happening.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, next, what else is there? And so I've really gotten into this, not to get woo-woo about it, but like, who else can I bring in?
Yeah.
And so like I brought in a couple of guys from Daniel's network, you know, where it's like, you know, Paul Roberts and Brandon Scribner. So they came in the other day and we just... So, I've been in and around them off and on for a couple of years, but it was like, I got so busy doing other stuff that I wasn't able to, like, I might go by the cookout for like, literally do a lap haul ass,
Yeah.
and leave. So I haven't been able to participate. But now the nice thing is when you kind of like go away in monk mode or whatever, you woodshed. Okay, well now they come in and what they did in less than an hour that I then handed to them later that night as like finished content, and we brainstormed for a couple of hours. Like they were fired up like I am now. We're like they're wanting to do like tackle football on the psych wall, and I'm super stoked about that. And that was something that I wasn't able to do partly because, and this would be the question is, there is I know a handful of folks that as soon as I have this, I'll be ready. As soon as we get this, then I'll be ready to go.
Right.
And now I actually had that turn out to be true because you'll see whenever you see this particular batch of content versus what we had. What we had was certainly better than nothing. But the truth is the gear was made for like tweener girls doing makeup tutorials. And now we could probably, that might be our niche that we're missing out. But we just ramped up everything, you know? So like there, I would say I was still doing it whenever it wasn't broadcast quality and it wasn't like fully professional TV station quality. But now that it is, I feel massively energized and I don't feel like I missed out because we were still doing we never quit.
Right.
We never didn't do something. It wasn't like, oh, I can't do it now because I don't have the perfect gear. And so I'm experiencing now the re-energizing of it feels new.
Right.
Versus I historically would be like, oh, I can't go running. I can't start running until I have $500 worth of jogging equipment. Yeah. You know, I don't know. It just feels really good to have gotten past that hurdle.
Yeah.
And then now I'm stoked to see like what we can do. Like here, if we're intentional, like if we have like, okay, we want to hit this, and this for Q3.
Right.
You know, so like, okay, so the month of June, we start aiming towards that. And then we tailor it because this all helps me in the macro, where if we tailor it on like whatever is E4 and E5 happening in Q3,
right?
You know, and if that's going on at Sphere Rocket again or what have you, because like there, man, I can't wait to get in and play with that room. Because dude, that shit is just killer. That
cool.
LED wall that's like, you know,
it's awesome.
Have you done anything in there on the event side?
No.
Okay, so
I mean, I've spoken at his events, but we haven't done our own anything of our own. Yeah.
So you'll have to come out. So like I booked that day, the 26th, so the thing's only from like 12 to 1. Yeah. Well, I booked 10 to 2.
Nice.
So like we got time on either side.
It's awesome.
To, you know, FAFO.
Yeah, that's great.
So what else you got going on?
Dude, I think it's just for me right now, it's getting people. I think there's a couple things. One is, and by the way, we did this. I guess let me make it simple. 2 things. See if I can get my brain to line up. One is we're at summer, so do an evaluation of where you are so far this year. Are you halfway or not? And then sit down and set your calendar based on your goals and based on the fact that it's summer. So what I find is a lot of times people get to this time of year and they don't do a conscious reset. They think they have time to make it up. But summer for most people is different than winter, right? Especially if you have kids, whatever it is, like it's a totally different world. So like my challenge for people is like sit down and do your new calendar for the summer because it's probably different than like your winter calendar. You know what I mean? So instead of white knuckling it all summer long, which is what most people do, like you actually have to sit down and go like, all right, I'm going to take Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. Okay, so what do I need to do? I got to redo my schedule. So with my one-on-one clients, almost all of them got a message from me last week going, hey, we're changing. I'm moving my summer schedule. Like, here's the new times we're going to do our calls.
I was going to say, are you looking to like re-amortize
yes.
your yearly goals.
Yeah,
you know, because like back whenever I was a mortgage guy, like one of the ways to save people money is like, okay, we've been paying for 13 years. Let's re-amortize it out to 360. You know, like
right. Yes.
And all right, now boom, the floor just dropped, and you have a lot more headroom.
Yeah.
And so like there, where and it also would run in the other direction where it's like,
absolutely.
Okay, you're refinancing from a 30 to a 15. Okay, well now you just cut it into into half.
Yeah.
And now everything's going to be front loaded.
Yeah.
And
and are these things
look
working?
bigger?
If I thought it was going to take, for instance, if I thought it was going to take 20 calls a day to hit my goal, and if I'm on track to hit my goal, awesome. If I'm doing my 20 calls a day and I'm not on track to hit my goal, I might need to up that.
That's
right?
What you say. Yeah.
Or I'm over exceeding and I can drop that down a little bit. and take a little bit more time with the kids, or whatever it is. But like, let's make sure that I'm on pace to hit it, and not just imagining that I'm just going to magically get there. So I think that's the first thing. Second thing we're talking a lot about, and you and I talk about this a lot, but it's just I did such cool calls yesterday, or actually Wednesday. I had my performance coach on, so my performance doctor that helps me get my
so
life.
I saw
dude, so
the
good.
peptides and all that.
He talked peptides. He talked GLPs. He talked hormones. He talked health. He goes, hey, if you got $200, here's what you should be doing every month. Hey, if you got this, it was like, right, here's what's for men. Here's what, like, it was amazing. So getting with each of my clients, go like, you don't need to feel like shit forever, right? Like most people that are like, they get 30, 40, 50, whatever, is like, oh, I just feel like shit now. I'm just old, whatever. It's like, you're not supposed to feel like shit.
No, you're not.
But I think people just accept it, and they don't know what to do. They go to their doctor, they spend 8 seconds with them, and they go like, oh, your hormones are above the bottom of the bucket, so like, you're fine, have a good day. And it's like, hell no. So anyway, if you want access to that call, send a message, and we'll send it to you. Well, anybody that wants to watch it, but that was so good. But make a plan to feel your best.
Well, right, and it's like, there's no extra credit for like powering through.
No.
You know,
there's no extra credit to feel like shit and do it when you can feel great and do it.
Right. And the whole thing too, where it's like, oh, I run on 4 hours of sleep and I do this, and this. I'm like, that sucks.
That just
you know?
means, yeah.
And I used to have that where you're sort of like puritanical work ethic or whatever, where
like this lone wolf badge, right? Like, I'm such a badass. I only get 3 hours of sleep and I still do it. It's like, no, you're an idiot who can't leverage or make systems.
Right. And man, the more that I get into the world of the systems and the leverage or whatever. And one of the great things about the boot camp that I went to the last time, it was like, I then have the evidence where, because I throw it all into Claude like a nerd, it's like, okay, find me when I was here in March, and what did I do then versus what did I do in the interim, and where are we at? And so it's a very, now, if you're not wired to handle the, just the punch in the gut, because it's like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And you can't plead your case. It's just raw data.
Yes.
But there it was like, the upside was like, oh, wow, I had no idea that I was actually not only doing it, but like as a result doing better.
Yeah.
And so like, I'm sure that now, do you do any kind of quantifying like that, where you do like a review, like, okay, last time you were doing this, now you're doing this.
Absolutely.
And then like take a minute, acknowledge either that you've been doing the right thing.
And I love what you just said about the raw data, because it was interesting yesterday. I'm in my Goldman Sachs cohort, which is insane. We spent a whole day on that. Anyway, it's amazing. But I'm in my cohort, and one of the gals in the cohort was telling me about how we go through her goals, what she needs to get done, and I gave her this look. I guess my face was talking really loud, and she's like, "You're freaking me out." I was like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "Your face is saying there's no way I can do this," and I'm like, "I'm sorry, my face said it out loud, but." The math isn't mathing. It's not like I don't believe in you, which is how I think maybe sometimes people take it. But it's like, but I'm just saying the raw data, like you're saying, the raw data doesn't make sense. You just told me about 150 hours of work that you're expecting to get done in 60. Love you. That math just doesn't track. You know what I mean? And it's not about willpower or your work ethic or whatever. It's just going like this 3 gallons doesn't fit in 1 gallon.
Right.
And so we got to make some changes. I think so many people live in delusion because they don't just look, like you said, the raw data, and they go, they're just perpetually pissed off that they didn't get 3 gallons to fit in 1 gallon. It's like, well, either we make this one bigger or we want to put less stuff in, but we got to make some decisions.
Yeah.
And I think that's huge. And most people, like, they wrestle with that because they're unwilling to look at the raw data for most of their career.
And I'm weird in that I use the AI partly as not really coach, but more like like a journal would be, or like I'll just stream of consciousness into the thing and be like, okay, this and this happened. And then the only thing, and I'm sure Claude will probably be able to do this at some point in time, is I have different projects siloed for different aspects, even if it's like my 1 meal a day thing that I'm experimenting with or whatever. Well, it can't see the other.
This pissed me off. One of my other cohort members, she runs a huge logistic company. She uses Copilot within the Microsoft world. And here's what's interesting.
Okay, there's one. That's one person.
Yeah, it's one person.
Copilot.
But she walked me through what it does, and I became a believer. I'm not going to use it because it would be such a huge move over.
Yes.
But what's amazing about Copilot is it's actually integrated into her email it's all the word stuff. It's integrated into her
Yeah.
email. It's integrated into her Excel. It's integrated into all of her documents. It's integrated into all her PowerPoint. So it's all integrated. Where I'm trying to add things to Claude. You know what I
Yes.
mean? But with Copilot, it's all integrated. So she can have silo conversations, or she can say, like, she can choose, like, hey, don't go outside. Let's just stay within this thing. Or she can go, hey, look at so within any project, she can go, actually,
that's
go look
useful.
at everything and blah blah. And the fact that it can tie to Excel and her everything all the time is amazing.
Yeah, so like there right off the bat, I'm like, okay, I'm going to look into that for my Coldwell Banker people.
Yeah, because if it's all online,
anywhere is
yeah.
Microsoft behind the curtain.
Yeah, so you got to use my online stuff for everything. But like, she
Yeah,
does,
Microsoft 365.
Yeah, it's. But I'll tell you what, I became a believer when she showed me how it integrates with all the different things. But and I think that's where the magic is.
And there, so like Claude currently integrates the API and everything with
Yeah.
Google and all of that. And I've had several people tell me they're like, oh no, they got the OpenClaw thing sorted out, blah blah blah, and that it's not as expensive. Then I had somebody else tell me that like one of the guys that is in my sort of little recovery network, he has a financial startup.
Yeah.
And it's actually a pretty unique little niche or whatever, but he was like, oh my God, dude, I spent $1,500 in 6 days.
Yeah.
You know,
I think my take on most of it for right now for a lot of people is figure out how to use, Claude or ChatGPT or whatever it is to like handle your specific things. Help it with your email, help it analyze your things, help it with meeting prep, help it with all those kinds of things. For some of these bigger agentic things, I think that in the near future, we're going to have like the workshops like you were talking about where like somebody comes in and goes, hey, I built this, plug and play. Hey, I built this, plug and play. So I think if you want to go build out a couple of those, really dramatic workflows and things like that, that's great. But I think that a lot of that, like you said, the sharing down the road, I think it's really important. Like your EXP community, your coaching community, whatever it is, to be part of where it's like, hey, I made this asset, go plug and play. Hey, made this asset, go plug and play. Just like we do in Go High Level and things like that. I worry, I don't want people to spend too much time building really, really dramatic workflows if that's not what you're great at, because somebody else is going to build it and you just copy and paste it. Does that make sense? So I think that being careful with how much time you're spending on that is interesting.
And it's exactly what you said, where it's like you can't juggle 17 chainsaws at once and it be, and then it's like, oh, let's add 18, and let's add another. Because if you're doing the high level production at whatever price point or whatever in real estate or whatever, okay, now put on I'm going to learn how to do content creation. Oh, and then when I'm done with that and I tidy up all my editing and all my posting, then I'm going to do agentic AI and I'm going to bake in a system where the robot works for me. And it's just categorically impossible.
It is. And I think that we'll get, I think some of the workflows too that people are building are great, but they're almost putting a handbrake on the system because of as the systems change, the workflows need to change, the breaks need, whatever it is. So I think we'll get agentic in a lot of these things pretty quickly. So just be careful and make sure you're focused on the right thing.
And don't fall into the trap where kind of what you started off with, like, okay, are you busy but not getting anything done? Because I can tell you,
there was a great quote from this morning, and here's the quote, and then I'll let you finish what you were going to say, and then I'll give you the quote.
I've been totally capable of giving a weekend over to OpenClaw and setting up a thing that was totally kick-ass and life-changing for, I think, 9 days, and then Anthropic changed how Claude accessed the tokens.
Yep, it's crazy. All right, so for most people, they don't need another plan. They need to stop negotiating with the part of them that already knows what to do. Yep.
Lay down the rifle.
The reality is the action you're avoiding is probably the thing that's holding you back from the freedom and the income you want. It's simple. It's probably make 20 phone calls. It's probably reach out. It's probably, a handful of hard things. So sit down and go, what are the 2 or 3 hard things that if I do those for the next 6 months, it leads to a hell yeah year? Let me ask this as we wrap. What is that for you? What are your 2 or 3 hard things you need to do?
Boy, that's a good one. Because I'm in this weird thing where I'm not used to how I do it now just yet. but I can certainly get overamped and run and I'm going to have 73 VAs and where it just becomes this tail chasing. I was going to say, I have absolutely been able to go down the rabbit hole and spend 80 hours putting together OpenClaw, and then they changed oh no, we're not playing football, it's baseball.
Yeah.
And so part of it is I need to be able to rein it in, and my biggest thing now is I have so many new fun things.
See if you can give me a clear answer. What's the 2 hard things you need to do between now, do consistently to make this a hell yeah year? What do you think that is?
Focus on the action items that are like right in front of me versus the shiny fun thing.
That's a great answer. Yep.
Because I'm all about the shiny fun thing.
Yeah. Well, and I love having that, like that could, should, must list. And it's like, when I do them, when I get clear on what is a must, what's a should, what's a could, whatever it is, but when I get the must done, then I can go have playtime.
Right.
I just need to do the must first.
Yeah.
So like you're saying, like I need to get clear on what the 2 or 3 things. These things are fine, but as long as I've done these 2 things first, then I get to do the rest.
And I can sell myself the bill of goods because the fun things are also work related. That I'm still working.
Yeah.
Even though I'll just go all the way back to when I did the 6-week forensic CPA thing or whatever, where it was necessary and I'm glad I did it. But man, for that 6 weeks, the 2 phone calls a week, the spreadsheets, all that was an ass beating.
Yes.
But I needed to do it. And I dragged my feet and I stonewalled every chance I got. And then I get mad at them because I effed off and didn't keep track of stuff, so it's like, I already know that I'm capable of that. And sometimes I don't want to look at.
Well, and that may be you need to set up like a monthly appointment with them or whatever. It's like, to make sure you stay on track.
Yeah. Or one of the reasons why I always, sort of gravitated towards the idea of a business partner was just for the accountability.
Yeah.
And to have somebody that was wired for the stuff that I'm not.
Yeah, which is great. And if you can't find a great business partner on that, it's like, cool, get a coach that you don't have to give part of your business away for, but has the same.
Well, that's the next thing. So it's like, we need to circle back around and get me in the
absolutely
the thing.
Yep. Absolutely.
Oh, because like there, it's like, oh shit, I'll say this, where it's like, okay, so as you build things or whatever, they start extending me lines of credit. And so it was like, I'm like, okay, Riverboat Gambler, we're just going all in on the content creation or whatever. And then it was like, none of you SOBs were around when I needed it.
Yeah.
So,
that's exactly how it is. Yes. Absolutely. Yeah.
And so like Amex gave me like a whatever gold or platinum business card like last week. Cause like they're sending me all these things. I'm like, whatever. And if I can do it in the studio name, well, they'll do a soft pull on my credit or whatever. Who cares?
So fun.
Because I cleaned everything up. Now they're giving me the money when theoretically I don't need it to survive.
And that's why I tell a lot of my clients, like, let's get things set up when you don't need them, because when you need them, you can't get them. And when you don't, absolutely. All right. Fired up. I'm out. Go get it, brother. Appreciate you, dude.
Likewise.
Crush it.